And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 54. The second time this week. It's a little bit weird, especially with the name of the tournament. We already had a WardiTV weekly earlier on Monday. Now we have a second one this week on Friday. And here we go. We are here. We are back. We are jumping into our first series and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines. We have the Italian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for the Platinum Heroes. It is Ducklings. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player for Team Liquid. It is Skillis. And before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Baby Wings. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time with some team games as well with the animals. Oh no. With the walk, with Oreo, but hope you had a great time. And of course, welcome one and all. This is a weekly online tournament. Now, for those that are curious, for those that are wondering, why is there a second WardiTV weekly this week on Friday? That is because there is no WardiTV Monday next week. So because we're missing out on next week, he has decided to post it and to host it here on Friday instead. As on Monday, there will not be a WardiTV Monday. From my understanding, I believe he's going to have a long weekend of time off and time away from StarCraft. Going to be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So to make up for an otherwise skipped week, we're going to be having two this week instead. So there you go. This is also the downside of pinning like a day to the name of your tournaments. Which is why which is why it's called Pickerstar Cup instead of, I think it was like Pickerstar Monday, right? Or something along those lines. But not just Pickerstar Cups. We'll see what happens with all these events. Regardless, we're jumping into our first series. Before I get ahead of myself, if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we get into our PvP. Coming into this, Skillis is going to be coming in as the favorite player, but of course, we'll see if Ducklings can cause an upset. We know that he can, but he has to bring his A game here to go off and to face off against Skillis. Let's go. Likewise, exclamation mark be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we will be getting into the rest of the bracket after this series. We'll catch up, we'll get there. I'm sure you can hazard a guess as to why we did dive on this series of all of them. But now that we're settling in, to have our initial opener here, 2-gate opener at Ducklings, likewise 2-gate opener at Skillis. Ducklings does go for the faster expansion. Meanwhile, he does pylon blocker across the map. He will delay Skillis. Not bad. Not bad. Pegasaurus. Yeah, that's the name of the tournament. It's the Pickerstar Cup. It's the name of the tournament. As it is organized by someone called Stegosaurus and sponsored by Pig. That's why the names are blended together. Hence the name. Bacon Cup. Ah. Oh no. I can't have any more meat, man. I did meet up with Oreo and with Starduck and with the Ducklings. We had a Duckling meetup this morning. And I cannot have any more meat. It was fun meeting up with everyone together. It was good. It was good. Meeting up with the Ducklings. As now we do see Skillis rallying across the map, bearing in mind that his CC or his Nexus is delayed in favor of extra gateways, in favor of extra units, I should emphasize. With that poking in, shield battery is done, and the Lich is holding. Oh, nice snipe. Gets a sentry. Sentry goes down, shield battery still up. And Ducklings does have the better fight, the better trade, and of course the faster expansion. Skillis' own base is still on the way. And so far, this has not been worth it. Skillis just picking away at the sentries. Doing what he can. When it comes to the changes, when it comes to the patch being live, of course, and we have already casted many tournaments on the new patch, PvP is impacted, yes, but not too much here. Basically, NG overcharge on the shield battery is weaker, true. It is going to be weaker. Likewise, the change was made to the stasis trap, which does mean that Oracle-based play and Oracle-based openers are weaker as well. But none of that is really too applicable here. For the time being, Ducklings does get his expansion. Third base is on the way, so faster natural, faster third base, Ducklings will have a greater economy coming into the mid game. Meanwhile, Skillis back at home going for an extra gateway. We have a third gateway in the main, and we could see a fourth gateway and a proxy across the map. Yep, there it is, 2 base all in. So Skillous is going to commit. I mean, he's already behind, so he's going for the 2-base all-in. Hallucination Scout out of Lelix is going to confirm the extra gateway, confirm the natural, and should confirm the lack of third expansion. Yep, does rescout, it does confirm no third base, should be where all-in is coming. And we need to get ready. Does need to get ready. One way or the other, the game is about to end. Either Skillous kills Lelix or he dies trying. It's about to end. Skillous moving in, gets a kill. It's a kill, not a cancel on the shield battery. Sentry's going to be targeted down. Does get one. Gets one sentry. Shield batteries are almost done. Needs a little bit more time for those shield batteries. Nice snipe there by Lelix. And again, as time goes on, Lelix just embracing a better economy, getting his third base up and running. Skillous, we got to keep going, but the gateway is still not yet done. He needs a little bit more time. The gateway just now finishing up. And Skillous still looking for a way in. He expands behind this. It's a very late third base. That third base timing tells us that Skillous believes that he cannot kill. That the all-in has failed. Still warping in, still hoping to find some damage. Still hoping. Skillous is pushing in. Does get a better concave here, but the Immortal has arrived. And yeah, Skillous, he cannot break this. He cannot break this position. Not with the Immortal. Oh, he's going for it. Yeah, does go for the dive. The Immortal takes a lot of hits, and the Immortal does not go down. Oof. Skillous gets punished, and Lelix is running away with this game. Ay, ay, ay. Lelix back. He shuts down the aggression, still maintaining a lead. Skillous still does not have a third base, just now finishing up. And Lelix just has to calm down. Just calm down, get some extra warp ins, and then you can just end it. Just build up and get another Immortal. Play it safe. As he depowers the gateway, Skillous going for a backstab. He's going for the counterattack. Yeah, Lelix out of position. Does he recall? He has to make a choice. There it is. Does recall back home. So recall is going to be on cooldown. Skillous pushing on the right hand side as well. Oh, and Skillous, he cannot push out. Not here, not now, not anymore. He's going for his push. This is going to be a base trade. Basically, as Lelix moves out, Skillous moves in. Does hit the third. Can move in towards the natural. Lelix is all in. He can no longer recall. And he has to go for it. Oh, gets one. Takes down the shield battery. Proxy gateway gets shut down. Ooh, there's a recall back home. Skillous, he does not commit across the map. I thought he would. Uh-oh. And Lelix, he should run away with this. He should run away with this. Zones away the Stalkers. Can go for the kill. Takes down the mineral line. And the goal here should be to dive on the Immortal to focus it down. Lelix, he rotates. Does rotate, never arrived. Up! Doesn't blink in. Nova goes off, and Lelix, he should just break through. The shield barriers are not ready. They're not done. Disruptor goes down, and so does the Robo. Yeah, Skillous trying to come in from behind. He does focus on the Warp Prism at least, but it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Not anymore. The boys are being fooled. Skillous getting desperate, and Lelix, he's going to run away with this. He will take a lead in the series as he breaks the third base. He breaks the natural. He will lose his Immortal, but GG gets called, and Lelix takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A solid lead here for Lelix. Again, a solid game as well. Winding it back as a reminder as to what occurred. Skillous did fall behind early on, and it all just compounded on each other. Skillous, he had a late natural base. He committed into early aggression that did fall in its face. Behind that, he chose not to get a third. He chose to go for an all-in, and if you remember, the all-in did fall in its face. He went for a third gateway at home, a proxy fourth gateway across the map. He went for a 2-base 4-gate all-in, but he failed to get any damage done at the third base. Thankfully, Lelix scouted, right? Lelix, he scouted. He was able to confirm, able to get across the map and get eyes on the lack of third, on the extra gateways. He read the all-in well. He threw down shield batteries at his third base. He had his own Immortal production, and after he defended his third, that was game. Right, after he defended the third base, that was a game then and there. The best chance for Skillus would have been a base trade, right? That would have been the best option. But even then, it was an uphill battle for Skillus. So a very strong start here by Ledlix. And now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. Gonna be a big confidence boost for Ledlix to get a win in a macro game against Skillus. I should emphasize once again that a big reason as to why Ledlix had a lead in this game, why it snowballed out of control, was because of the failed all-in from Skillus. Remember, when you're all-in, I mean, it's all-in for a reason. He did fall behind quite heavily after it failed because of how far behind he was economically. But now we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Italian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Ledlix. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is Skillus. And the pressure is now on, and clearly you cannot try to cheese the hell out of Ledlix, at least not at this level of play, at least not with the 2-base all-in. So we should be seeing Skillus slow things down, take a breath, and go for a more standard game instead. But we'll keep an eye on him as the probes are being sent out, and they will pass by each other. So here comes our probe scout. Likewise, double gas being taken from Ledlix. Likewise, same for Skillus. We are building up 2 gate openers. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Babylinks in the chat. thank you so much, Babylinks. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to Mine Explosion. Thank you. Always do appreciate it. Always. Friday is my favorite kind of Monday. True. Aye. Here we go. From here, again, we're going to be settling in. Everything's looking normal so far. When it comes to the probe positioning here, there's no setup for a proxy pylon, so no proxy, no shenanigans, no cheese, not early on at least. And again, after what happened in game 1, we expect to see Skillus just play standard, just calm things down, get into his own natural expansion, get into Blink, get into the mid game. Is what we're expecting. And again, Ledlix already with a big win here on the board. If he can clutch out a second game, that would be insane. That'd be a crazy upset. We'll see if we can pull it off. Shall see. I'm sure his potential next opponent will be very grateful as well. Very grateful. We'll get into it. For now, we have our natural waste on the way. Once again, Ledlix, he does pylon block, but not for too long, and this time Skillus will expand. So the timings are close enough. Twilight Council will take up choice for Ledlix, and we should be seeing the same from Skillus. As loot stations are being sent across the map, this is to confirm whether it's a Twilight Council, Robo, or Stargate. Oh, loot station going to be zoned away. Skillus, he will not deny the scout though. Go quite low. Loot station gets in and confirms the Twilight Council. Likewise, Skillus does the same. So they both confirm. Both do confirm. Oh. And from here, we can either play safe and get a Robo, or we can be greedy and take a third. So we'll see how safe or greedy our players are going to be. Bearing in mind that with a Twilight Council opener, technically there could be a hidden Dark Shrine here. That's often why we do see safer play and faster Robos. Station on the way. Skillus in position to intercept. At least trying to. And he does get a couple of shots off, but does not deny the scout. Blue station gets in, confirms the third base, and confirms the research. So Ledlix is feeling safe. Will expand. A slightly later expansion this time. So later third. But overall, this is a much more standard game here from our players. Both players just getting to the third bases, calming down, like no rush 6 minutes as both players take up into the mid game. From here, we can start working towards the Forge, +1. We can start working towards Charge as well, and eventually splash damage into Archons. We're kind of headed down that direction. We'll see if we can get there. Do you see Lelix peeling off a couple of Adepts? 2 Adepts taking one-shot probes. As Lelix does threaten a shade towards a natural. He will distract here at the third. Going for the sentry. Does get it. Not bad. One sentry goes down. He pulls away at the same time. Adept stays shade into the mineral line. Skillus does pull back, but still probes are going down, losing 1 so far. Unfortunate targeting. Very unfortunate. Despite that, though, he does get 1, 2. He should be getting up to 3 or 4, but lack of control. Lack of control there from Lelix. At the same time, Skillsy counterattacks. Lelix is focusing on the defense. And Skillsy can take the fight. Yeah, he has enough. Shield Barrier's not ready. And Skillsy will overwhelm. So coming into a standard normal game here, Skillsy does apply pressure. He does break through. He defends. He attacks at the same time. And this is a very rough position here for Lelix. He's going for the proxy gateway. Lelix, he's down in workers, down in economy, down in army as well. Really rough start. There was potential with the Adepts to get some damage to equalize and to even things out, but that fell by the wayside. And now Lelix is strictly behind. Now Skillus, I mean, there's no pressure. All he really has to do here is just settle down, get a 4th expansion, throw down gateways, get into his tech, get into charge lots, Archons. The pressure instead is on Lelix. Pressure is on. Lelix does move out. Prism is on the way. Lelix still staying on a very low probe count, and we'll see what he can get done. Only 1 shield battery. True. Only 1. Lelix he's not been skipping warpins. He's up to 18 stalkers. Skills he has been greedy. How so? +1, charge, Temple Archives. Yeah, things that are not helping here. +1 is about to finish. And Lelix has to break through here and now. Zells do warp in. They do a great job tanking. They tank a lot of shots. But Lelix, he has to go for the kill here. He has to go for it. He blinks in. Yeah, he blinks in, goes to the dive. Stalker's going to be going down. Boys are being pulled. And Lelix, he might barely have enough here. Yeah, just barely. Lelix's stalkers are low. So are Skills's. Lelix still has double the stalker count, but now there's an immortal. He was so close. He was so close here to just breaking Skillus. But given time, Skillus is building up more immortals. He already has the first. Archons are on the way as well. +1 is now done. It was risky, it was greedy, but Skillus is getting away with it. And here the soup does lie, right? The soup does lie. The supply is looking deceivingly close when really it's heavily in favor of Skillus. Just because of the quality of the army. He was just trying to survive until this point where he had Immortals, Archons, Charge Lots, +1. All kicking in. I was pushing. So drop into the main. Going for a tri-pronged attack. We have Zeltz towards the third. Zeltz into the main. And the main army pushing into the 4th base. And the Lex is just being pulled apart. Zeltz are trying to close in. But they're slow lots. The slow lots back. Gets an immortal. Gets 1 immortal. Zeltz is wreaking havoc in the main. Yeah, Skillsy breaks through. Skills, he breaks through the main base. Probes are going down, no mining at the third. And then Lixie cannot keep up. GG gets called, and Skillus, he will tab the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, we saw that this time Skillus and Lelix, they got into a very standard, very tame, very passive early to mid game. Both players took their naturals, got into their third bases. Once we started getting into the mid game, that's where Skillus took a massive lead. He was able to shut down the adept aggression, he was able to catch stalkers across the map, and he killed 5 probes, if you remember. And 5 probes doesn't sound like a lot, but in a mirror matchup, it means everything. From there, Lelix fell behind, and he stayed behind. He was forced into an all-in, and if you remember, the all-in almost worked, where he chose not to tech up. Remember, he chose not to get a Forge. He chose not to get a Temple Archives. He chose not to get Charge. He chose to stay on a low worker count. He pushed out. This was after the damage was done, of course, after he fell behind. And it almost worked, right? Like, he almost broke Skillus. He had to pull the boys, and he survived just long enough to get into his immortal production, to get into his immortals, to get into everything else. GG. GG, well played. So very close, very clutch. In the end, Skillus, he survived the all-in. He snowballed out of control from there. But it does leave me excited here for game number 3. We'll see how this ends. We'll see where our players take us. Game 3 is going to be on Maganatha. Maganatha is a very large map of the map pool, known for aggression, at times known for proxies because of how large it is. We'll see if our players take the bait or if we just calm things down and go into another longer macro game. Or into a standard mid game. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the Italian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes being forced into a tied series, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Ledlix. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Skillus. Go. Oh, as Skillus setting up on the low ground. A bold move. A very bold move here. Going for a very greedy opener, going for what looks to be a gate expand or a gate cyber expand. You'd not set up on the low ground unless you plan on going for a faster nexus. So very greedy build here by Skillus. Lelix with his probe scout, he should confirm, and his response should be a 1 base all in. So probe does move forward. Lelix, he will scout. And now he knows. Yeah, he sees, he knows. Oh, 2 gate opener. Okay. Okay, I see you. 2 gate opener out of Skills on the low ground. Likewise, 2 gate opener out of Lelix. So Skillus, he's not rushing into a fast expansion. This is the same build, but executed in a very different manner here, where the production, where everything is exposed on the low ground. So you can make an argument here that Lelix, he can still go for a proxy and go for an all-in and try to punish this, but at the same time, because we have the same builds more or less, like Lelix doesn't have to try to punish this, doesn't have to go for an all-in. He can just expand behind this instead. He's got options. Waiting for the Cybercore. That's the plan. Warp gate is on the way. And it looks like Lelix does plan on expanding. Go. It's a pylon block here on the low ground. Both players, they do block each other. Skillus with the second block. Let's go. Cheeky move out of Skillus. Will delay even further. And with that Skillus, he can cancel the pylon. There we go. Starts the Nexus. Both players do expand. And we'll see who takes the lead. Skills just looking for a way in. Does commit. Ooh, bold move. Very nice. Oh my god, calm down. Very nice force field as Alexi shuts down the Adepts. Ooh, despite that, he'll still lose 3 in total, so still some hefty losses there, losing those gas mining probes. But does shut down the Adepts. Could have been a lot worse. Meanwhile, we have a robot opener at a skillless this time, not a Twilight Council. Now, when it comes to a robot opener, what does this entail? This is more defensive play. This allows you to, yes, harass with a War Prism, but also get early immortal production. Oh, and Lilix is going for an aggressive response. He gets caught out though. Adepts to catch one with the sentries. They get 1, they're going to get 2, they're going to get all 3 potentially. Oof. So very nice pickups here from the skillless. Does trade toward us for 2 sentries. Does get across the map. And Lilix will get another gateway. Okay, so we're getting up to 3 gates, but oh, there's tech behind this. And unfortunately, Lilix, he's aware. He saw the robo going into an all-in against someone who's going immortal is not the best idea. So a rough position for Lilix. He's still warping in, still reinforcing. With the help of the immortal production, skillless, he should not be broken. The immortal has arrived. And the adept harass continues. A rough position for Lilix. Losing another probe. Losing 2. And skillless, he's just outscaling. He's just outscaling over time. The one advantage would have been the Twilight Council, but you can see here they're not making use of it. Lilix, otherwise distracted. Yeah, getting caught out in the center, losing 1, 2, 3 Stalkers. 3 Stalkers go down. Oh, does at least get a sentry. Takes out a sentry, a Stalker. Gets some value. Finds the proxy. Oh! Prism taking a lot of hits. Nice pickup. Takes down the War Prism. Now going for the Immortal. Okay, the Immortal will go down. Both armies do trade, but this is still a better trade for skillless. And GG. Yeah, GG gets called. There's nothing left. And skillless, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to the skills as it does advance on. A shout out to Lilix for making a series out of it. Again, Lilix, he was able to hold his own, at least when it came to game 1. There it was best case scenario where he took a lead early on, he forced skills into the all-in, and then Lilix, he was able to defend against that all-in in game number 1. Game 2 and game 3 were a lot more standard. We saw, I say standard, they were a lot more, I should say, macro-oriented, especially game number 2. We saw that skills was able to get into a much more comfortable mid-game. Here in game number 3, we saw a cheeky build out of skillless, forcing a weird reaction out of Lilix, but in the lead up to that was getting further ahead. The adept harass was brutal, catching out the initial army in the center of the map as well, and kind of baiting his opponent to be aggressive while opening up robo, which is ideal against aggressive builds. So it's a really rough setup there from Lilix, really rough build of choice, really rough reaction to the scout, and likewise did lose a lot of workers in the lead up as well. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations to skillless, and let's catch up on the rest of the brackets. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go. Let us go. As you can see here, the entirety of the first round is almost concluded. We have herO here versus Geralt in the first round. Oh, they are currently facing off, but winner goes up against MaxPax in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, we have Rogue. Rogue, he takes down Bonan 2-0. Rogue is facing off against skillless in the next round, and as you can see, this is why we did jump on this series. I did want to cover at least some Zerg players here tonight. So Rogue is the only big notable Zerg player, so that's why we jumped on skillless, to be able to cast some Rogue action. That was the plan. That was the plan. So far, working as intended. Scrolling down, we have Mana. Mana takes on Sophisticates. Classic takes on Percival. We have Mana versus Classic in the lower quarterfinals. And down here, we have Hearthstone. Hearthstone gets a walkover win over Triple. Nickrat takes down his opponent 2-0, and Hearthstone takes down Nickrat 2-0 as well. Hearthstone waiting in the semifinals for the winner of Mana and Classic. Another reason why we dove on the skillless series and we're following that into Rogue is because of all the PvPs. We have Mana, Classic, Hearthstone. Pure PvPs down here in the lower half. Meanwhile, Again, herO, Geralt, MaxPax, pure PvPs there as well. There's a lot of it's pure Protoss surrounding one lone Zerg player. Best of luck to Rogue, Pappy. Best of luck to Rogue. Aye, aye, aye. So again, he is on the couch. He is surrounded, and we'll see if he can survive the night. We'll see if he can have a deep run here and at least break up the matchups a little bit and save us from the non-stop PvPs. Otherwise, that is all we will have in this tournament. So best of luck to Rogue, just to have a little bit of diversity coming into the later stages of this tournament. When it comes to Terran representation, as you saw, we did have Nicorette and we had Percival, but that was it. A little bit surprised, but a lot of our Terran regulars are not here today. No Björn, no Cure, no Clem. Those three are regulars in online weeklies, but it could also be because of the fact that this is an irregular tournament, right? WardiTV Mondays are on Monday. They're not on Fridays, so it's very, very likely that some of the players that I just mentioned just didn't know that a weekly was going on tonight, or they found out, but they already have other plans. Oh, they're out there touching grass. Aye, aye, aye. Animals, baby, animals. So here we go. As readers are underway. We'll soon get in. I also believe this is going to be a rematch, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to double check that. Un momento. But I do know that Rogue, he recently played against a Protoss player in a couple of days ago in the other Open Cup. Let me just double check. Yes, so it was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, if you were here on the channel, you would have seen it. Rogue versus Skillous. This is a rematch. Skillous already 2-0'd Rogue 2 days ago in Little League Cup, weekly number 8 on the 1st of October. Now here we are 2 days later, and we'll see. We'll see if Rogue can get his revenge. We'll see if Skillous can do it again, bring him down for a second time. For a second time this week. Players are setting up. Readers are done. Oh, yo, shout to Lennox, man. Shout to Lennox. I really think I could have won game 2 if I committed more to the all-in. I can potentially see that happening as well. For sure, for sure. Gotta commit, Pappy. Gotta commit. But I could have seen that work. Like, sorry, winding it back, if you're still there, and if you listen to the cast, you were so close to breaking him in game 2. Like, unironically, you were so close. Because you were hitting just before the Immortal, just before +1. Like, you did hit just before Skillous kind of hit his stride. So that was a really clutch hold out of Skillous. Like, I don't want to take away from Skillous, but at the same time, like, you almost got in there in game 2. Almost. Casito, baby, casito. It was very close, but here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our fresh series and spawning. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, representing Team Liquid. It is Skillous. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Zerg player from South Korea, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. We go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our ZVP, into the rematch. As a reminder, it was 2 days ago, merely 2 days ago, where Skillous did 2-0 Rogue. He 2-0'd him. 2-0'd the hell out of him. But if you remember, that was patch day, right? That was the day the patch went live. So players that were still getting accustomed to the new playstyle, still getting accustomed to the new patch, and I mean, that's still the case, right? It's still day 3 of the patch, so still working on that, of course, and we'll see if Rogue has been able to adapt, adjust, and come in with some fresh all-ins. Because I'm assuming we're going to all-in. Let's go. Now, if you weren't here yesterday, I do recommend checking out the VOD for the podcast. We did go into detail as to what the patch entails and what we feel like, or what we theorize that it's going to be, how the matchup is going to be impacted, of course. When it comes to ZVP, the big one is going to be Storm. The new Storm is going to favor defensive play very heavily, very heavily. So if Skillous does go for a defensive play style where he takes his Stargate into a third base, into Blink, into Storm, into a 4-base setup, and turtles up back at home, it's going to be very difficult to break. I will say that, but at the same time, there are some other maps that are better for turtling, like Tokamak, for example. There are other maps where you can turtle up a little bit easier. Here on Persephone, we'll see if he can do so. We'll see if he does decide to. Likewise, we'll see if Rogue commits to an earlier all-in. Bearing in mind that the Baneling buff, the Baneling now having extra HP, is a pretty big change, and we are expecting to see some more Baneling-based all-ins to try to break the Protoss ahead of time. When it comes to the meta of ZVP, it's already been like all in and try to kill them early on. But now with the addition of the new Baneling, of the Baneling upgrade, it does mean that Baneling-based all-ins are going to be more viable. Likewise, another change is the Spire. So we could actually try to play macro into the mid-game, throw down a hidden Spire as well, and try to embrace Mutaplay. That is possible, bearing in mind that Protoss players are going to have a harder time scouting. Now there's going to be a little bit less energy when it comes to hallucinations, so there's a higher chance that maybe you can hide your tech. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what Rogue decides to cook up. So that's what you got. Can he cook, Pappy? Can he cook? For now, Link Speed is on the way. Rogue is droning. Forsake the unnatural natural. Likewise, Stargate opener out of Skillous, going for the Stargate in the main, opening up Oracle. Everything's looking normal. Do have a couple of Links slipping into the bases here. No Adept at home to defend. Ooh, and Rogue, he may get some probe kills. He gets 1, 2. 2 probe kills, already a very strong start here for Rogue. The Adepts are out of position. They're across the map, and Skillous gets punished. He does get punished. A better start for our Zerg player. Link Speed kicks in, takes down one of the Adepts. About a 4th gas geyser, maybe an 8th gateway. Yeah, maybe. Again, it was close. It was very impressive. Very impressive. As the wall is wide open, Links, they flood in. Where's the Oracle? Across the map. Yeah, the Oracle's across the map, not a home to defend, which means probes are going to be going down. He busts into the main. We attempt a probe drill. Despite that, 4, 5, 6 oh my god, 7, 8 probes. GG gets called. That is game-ending damage. That should not be happening at this level of play. And with that, Rogue takes game number 1. Whew. GG, well played. When it came to this, when it came to game 1, the patch did not impact this at all. This was unfortunately. Sorry, I have to make sure I don't get into the wrong lobby. I'm dying a little bit. But unfortunately, we saw that Skillous, he did leave the door wide open. He moved out with the Adept, he got punished for it. Likewise, he moved out with the Oracle as well, also got punished for it, as the wall was wide open. He did not see the Ling move outs, he did not see the Ling counterattacks, was caught with his pants down. The pants were down. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 2. Oh, there's a rift, Pappy. There's a rift. There's a rift in time and space next to Neptune, or whatever this is. Ah, no. In the Capula sector. It's the void, Pappy. I'll fix it up after, once we switch scenes. Really, the deep cut is Raynor's in the rift. True, he's he's been lost in the rift for quite some time. That's why he's not a part of the tournament. He's in the rift. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Magnatha, we have the blue Protoss player. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. For Team Liquid, it is Skillous. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself representing Team Falcons, it is Rogue. See in the chat, the hero wall. Oh no. Unironically true. Not like this. The wall that is just not a wall. Ah. So now we're just calming things down. I would imagine that coming into game number 2 here, Skillus is going to be a lot more careful with his approach when it comes to either scouting or just playing safe, and he might just even keep his adepts back at home, keep the first Oracle back at home as well. We'll see how Skillus does adapt after what happened in game 1. Oh, meanwhile, a very greedy build here at a rogue. Do you see what I see? Gas into hatch into a very late spawning pool. Okay, now a couple of things here. One, latelings. Latelings, more importantly, late queen production. This is a very late spawning pool. Insane greed out of rogue. Does he get away with it though? Does he get away with it? I mean, the problem is that, as something I just mentioned, Skillus, I'm sure after game 1, is more prone to being more defensive, to being more careful, and to playing safely, instead of being aggressive and attempting to punish his opponents. So we'll see if Skillus does move out. For now, the Adept is rallied. Thankfully, it is rallied across the map. But no probe scouts. Ooh, no probe scout out of Skillus. So Skillus, you'll have a late realization as to what's been happening. Again, the hatchery's almost done. Hatchery is almost complete. Now going for Stargates. That does move out. And the queens are on the way. Link production has begun as well. So far, Roki has gotten away with his greed. So far. Adept does shade in. Gets one. One drone goes down. Does head towards the main base and does not quite find much damage here. Shades away. Skillus head towards the third. It gets eyes on the third base, gets eyes on the queen. Might be able to piece together what's been going on, potentially. Fighting more damage, much better damage this time. You're getting 3, can we get 4? Oh, ooh, not quite, but 3 drone kills, not bad. Does get 3 more workers, the link speed is on the way. We can see Roki does pull out of gas. But remember, link speed is still on the way. So the skills he can very safely expand. And does have a wall this time. Let's go. The wall is up. Gets another 3, gets another 4 drone kills. The Oracle does get away. Lings, they attempt to counterattack, but again, back at home, this time there is a full wall. Going for his Twilight Council, Gateway Explosion. Interesting. Is this Twilight Council early enough? It looks like a standard timing here, but do you see what I see? No Forge. Without a Forge, this could be Glaives. We could go into Glaives, or we can go into early +1 Blink. I say Blink. Early Blink with delay +1. There it is. Early Blink is on the way, delay +1. Oh, we gotta make our mind. What's the plan? we gotta make it up, Happy. So, made Blink, cancelled, got Glaives, cancelled again, going back into Blink. Gotta figure out what we're doing. And the Overlord does get eyes in the main, does confirm the lack of Forge. Now, the goal of early Blink is typically to break the 4th base. To break the 4th and to break the Zerg and to cripple them early on. And that will work if Rogue were to drone and be greedy, but for now, he is making a massive swell of Lings. We have the Baneliness on the way as well. Rogue is being active. And we'll see what Seals can get done. As Lings do get in, they get on top of the Stalkers. But no kills. Nice defense here by Skillus. Very nice. I'm afraid to look, that was how many? That was 20 Lings being thrown away for 2 probes. So much better engage. Making all these lings, I was hoping that Rogue would just be active to surround any kind of move outs, but that was a big waste of lings. And now he has to rebuild. He has to rebuild. The drawing count is still quite low. He has not taken his gases. Only 2. No lair. This is all hatch tech, by the way. Oh, it just caught me off guard. We're 6 minutes in. No lair whatsoever. Okay, I mean, again, Skillus is aggressive. He's committed. And Rogue has to survive this. But Rogue will be outscaled. Going for a massive counterattack. Going for a bust even. Okay. I mean, Skillus is out of position. The wall is open. Yeah, it does bust in. Very quick warp in here. Clutch move out of Skillus. He holds. He holds. He defends. There's one Baneling left. Blinks in. Baneling goes down. And Skillus he's holding. Yeah, Skillus he is holding on. Doesn't get a surround. Blink is almost ready. Does blink away. And Rogue is falling behind. Rogue, he's falling behind. Remember, there's no lair. This is the lair. It's just now starting. 7 minutes. The 7-minute lair. Ay, ay, ay. Which means we're stuck on Ling Bane. We're stuck on Ling Bane. We're stuck on +1 upgrades as well. The Rogue. Now, Skillus is not aware, right? He doesn't really know how far ahead he is tech-wise, so he's being a little bit tentative. What he could do here is just chill, get into Storm, and then push and kill. He doesn't have to be aggressive like this, but he's finding damage regardless. As long as he has the Oracles, he should be safe. And he should be applying more pressure here. Like this, there's no way that we can defend the space. The expansion is so exposed. We'll see how the armies engage. Wings are spotted. Lings are coming from behind. That was a massive blink. He does go for the blink, does go for the hatchery. Switches to Zerglings. Stasis goes off, one Oracle goes down, and we have to recall. Yeah, at this point he has to recall. Yeah, blinking forward into the expansion was not quite necessary here. Skillus bleeds out a lot of Stalkers, but he still has that Storm timing, right? Like, Storm is still a big timing here for Skillus. And Skillus, even though he lost a lot of Stalkers a little bit needlessly, and even though he didn't really get much value for them, he's still in a better position. Skillus is still looking solid. That's going to be 6 Templar warping in. Storm is almost ready. And it's going to be 1-1 Ling Bane here. Not even Ling Bane, 1-1 Lings here to defend. Baneling's speed is also delayed because of the delayed lair. Banelings are morphing in. We need that speed. Borrow's on the way. We can get creative, true. There's a world where we can borrow Banelings and then High Templar go over the mines and then you can explode. Like, there's a world, there's a chance. But it is not going to be easy. Here comes a Warp Prism, and here comes a push. So Skill is just waiting for his Warp Prism, then he can move out. Storm is ready. High Templar, they've gathered energy. They've got at least 1 Storm each. There's a 7 Templar in total. Sorry, 5. So 5 Templar. Each with at least 1 Storm. Here comes a Prism. Can always juggle back. And for now, mainly a zoning Storm. Ooh, they will connect. Get massive connections. Banelings get in. They do get in, and they're going for the High Templar. Very nice save. Nice pickup. Banelings, they zone. They zone. They buy a lot of time here. The last Skillus did save his High Templar, and this is what he needs. More Archons. He needs that wool. He needs that buffer. Rogue going into Ultras? Oh, okay, okay. But bold move. Bold move out of Rogue. And they roll in. They play mining. Nothing running on the way. Skillus is over on the right hand side. He's not quite in position to defend. Does warp in though. Okay. Does warp in defensively. The longer this goes on, I mean, hey, Ultras are on the way. Can Rogue survive until Ultras? Skillus. He's backing off. He's building up. Immortals are now on the way. He's only going for a drop play. He's not pushing. Wow, he's not pushing. I mean, I still favor Skillus' main army, but as time goes on, Rogue is going to have the opportunity to recover. He's getting into a better army. I say better, it's still not quite there yet, but now working on kindness plating. He still only has +1 carapace. Like, the upgrades are still very lacking because of the early game. Like, bear that in mind. Like, Rogue was very... Oh, that's a kill! Jesus. That's a kill, not a cancel. That should not have happened. Okay. That's the Rogue. Kills the base. Skill is still stuck at home. Skillus is building up his immortal count. Now, are we going to be able to get into a game state where we can see Immortal versus Ultras with Microbial Shroud? Personally, that's something that I have not seen yet in the new patch, and I want to, but I don't think we're getting there. Heads towards the mineral line. Probes do not pull away. Oh, okay, they pull away just in time. It's going to be 9 probe kills. Again, there's a late reaction out of Skillus. Letting they burrow in between the bases. And here comes a push. Skillus is maxed. Now, how many Ultras? 2. And not enough. 2. We have soon to be 3 Ultras with +1 carapace. They have kindness plating, which does help. Oh, Lings, they do bust in. Speaking of, we have more Lings on the way. Robe is depowered. Comes in for the attempted surround. And Skillus is pushing. And again, these storms need to connect. Bailey's going to be rolling in. Show us the storms. Lands 1. Just the 1. Takes out all the takes out all the Ultras. And again, remember, there's only +1 carapace. The Ultras, they just melt. The Ultras go down. Bailey's doing what they can. They trade against the gateway units, but GG gets called. There's no stopping this. And Skillus, he does tie the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, Skillus took a massive lead for the majority of this game. I was impressed that Rogue, he was able to recover in a sense. He got up to a better economy, he got up to Hive Tech. But you saw that because of how brutal the first half of the game was, he was still far behind when it came to the quality of the army itself, right? He still only had +1 carapace, only +1, so again, the Ultras that much weaker. Likewise, there were only 3 Ultras, just because, again, he had really shaky early to mid game, getting into that kind of game state, didn't have the greatest economy to actually make use of, to actually build up a higher Ultra count. He had no Microbial Shroud, he had no Infestors. It was a really odd game out of Rogue, to be honest. Like, to stay on Hatch Tech for that long was crazy. It was crazy. It did seem like he was maybe expecting... I mean, I say expecting more aggression early on. Like, he himself was quite aggressive with his Lings, and it wasn't quite worth it. He lost a lot of Lings early on. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into the ace match. Let's go. I see in the chats, are these games live on the new patch? I mean, the games are live, and the patch is live, so it's all in the new patch. I don't think there's a way to play not on the new patch because it's the live version of the game. The PTR kind of era has concluded. It only lasted like less than 2 weeks, so the patch is live. Bearing in mind that this patch is different from the PTR, it is different. So bear that in mind. And here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid, being forced into, or forcing the ace match. It is Skillus. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Here we go. A lot of good decisions by Skillus. Well, Skillus, he just had a stronger early game. He was able to deal a lot of economic damage. Rogue, he fell behind tech-wise. Skillus did make some missteps when it came to his Stalker aggression, if you remember. Like, his blink into the 4th base, where he didn't kill the base, where he lost a lot of Stalkers. That was the beginning of the comeback for Rogue, but it still wasn't quite enough. It still wasn't enough to recover. And thankfully, after that loss, after losing those Stalkers, Skillus, he just backed off, he stayed at home, and he just maxed out, right? He maxed out with Archons, with Storm, with Immortals. And now we have a standard opener, Hatch, Gas, Pool. So standard open out of Rogue. We're done with any crazy shenanigans that we saw in the last game. And we'll see how our players, we'll see how Rogue will adjust. In theory, you can make a mod. Yes, yes. In theory, you can make a mod that like reverts all the changes. That is true. Check our calendar. As now we are settling in, and so far we have our standard open Stargate at a Skillus into a third base. We'll see if Skillus once again goes into early blink, or if he goes into glaives, or if he goes into a standard build instead. We shall see. Two adepts. Two adepts taking one-shot workers. This time Rogue, he's not across the map. Not able to punish. It was nice that we were able to see at least the new Baneling. We made reference to it at the start of the series, but with the Baneling change, it does mean that more Baneling heavy play in the mid game is more viable against Protoss, as they have a little more survivability and can make it through storms and collapse onto High Templar. Oh my god, double forge? Is that intentional? Okay. Okay. All right, let's go. Show us what you got, baby. Show us what you got. Double forge, double upgrades. This typically leads into charge, into a Twilight Council, into charge, into a strong kind of mid-game setup. Oh, that's not a Twilight Council. Are we going 1-1 into Colossus? No shot. We'll keep an eye on it. But interesting setup. There we go. 1-1 upgrades on the way. Again, yeah, with armor, we should be prioritizing charge lots behind this eventually. Are we going Robo, Twilight Council, Temple Archives into Archon, delayed Archon drop play? Let him cook. Let him cook, Bible. Let him cook. As here comes the Twilight Council again. Delayed Twilight Council, delayed upgrade in favor of faster 1-1. Delayed tech in favor of faster 1-1. Does this work on the new patch though? I'm just thinking, like, again, like, this is going to be a very strong timing, but now Banelings are more viable. In the previous match, 100%. In the previous patch, I should say. On this one, we'll see. We shall see. Everybody gets hunted down. Charge has begun. There's the Temple Archives for Storm. I believe this should line up with Storm. The move out, I should say. As Rogue, he's going to be skipping Banelings, going into Roach play instead. So +1 range into a Roach Horn, into Hydras. So with this Rogue, he could decide to keep droning. He can get up to 4 base saturation and try to tech up even faster than this and try to tech up in towards Hive Tech, in towards in towards Hive Tech, in towards Lurkers. That is going to be an option. Yep, there it is. Invisation bit for Hive for Lurker Tech. So Rogue is rushing into lurkers. Meanwhile, Skillus, can he push, and will he be able to push before lurker tech? 1-1 upgrades are done. 2-2 is going to be on the way. Storm has begun. As I mentioned, I believe this should be lined up in such a way where we can push with Storm and we can try to break the Zerg player. It's going to be very close though. It's going to be close. There's that lurker den. As you mentioned, the goal for skill should be to push before lurkers are ready. Lurker den is on the way. Overseer does scout, does confirm, does see everything in the main. Storm is almost ready. It is a high immortal count, so even with a low amount of lurkers, the immortal count should be able to break through. So like 3, 4, 5 lurkers might not be enough. Here comes the Prism. The Prism is going to be the sign of the move out of the push. Chrono boost on +2. Interesting. Going to give his army a little bit more survivability. And here he comes. Just waiting for that War Prism. At the same time, 6 lurkers morph in. Oof. Okay. Now, are 6 lurkers going to be enough? That is the question. Is that enough? Now, these are going to be lair tech lurkers. The hive is not done. The hive was delayed in favor of the faster lurker den and now the lurkers themselves. So delayed hive, delayed upgrades. There we go. Prism in towards the bases. Main army through the center. Here comes Skillus. That's going to be 4 more lurkers. That's going to be 10 in total. Skillus, he's missing that window. That window, it's closing. Lurkers are ready. Lurkers are ready. At this point, it might just be worth getting a fleet beacon and now taking up into Sky Toss. We'll see. I mean, the upgrades are still not quite done for the lurkers, so there's at least that, but... Lurkers are revealed. Prism in towards the main. It's not going to get much done here. Skillus, he is gaining ground, is clearing up a lot of creep. But now there are lurkers everywhere. Like, there's 15 lurkers. Now, can he brute force his way through with Storm? That I'm not so sure about. I mean, the army still has a little potential for sure. Still a terrifying army. Skillus, he rotates. Lurkers out of position. Okay, they're exposed. He's doesn't quite go for it. Yeah, too many lurkers. Lands 1 storm. Storm does quite a lot of oh my god, does a lot of damage here. There's a recall back home. Lurker counterattack. Lings towards the natural. Zealots, they do try to get into a mineral line, and drones are going down. Getting a lurker as well. Gets 1, gets 2. And 2 lurkers go down. Gets 21 drone. Oh my god, the Zealots. The Lunkers, they're out of position. Yeah, lurkers, they're still out of position, by the way. Zealots get 22 drone kills. They get a spore. They trade against the Lings. And it wasn't the main army. It wasn't the Storm. It wasn't the Archons. It wasn't the Immortals. I mean, it was in a sense, as it was a big distraction, right? Skillus, he distracted, and Rogue, he was wide open. Now, Rogue, he does re-drone. You can see here 97 drones, but he had to drone up quite heavily. Instead of refining his army, here comes the main push. Nidus into the main. Uh-oh. Nidus into the main base. Skillus, he does not notice. No reaction. No response. Does try to force his way in. Mass storms here on the lurkers. Gets revelation. And lurkers go down. Yeah, lurkers, they barely go down. There's 2 lurkers left. Oh no, these are the revelation. Uno más. It doesn't quite have it. Nidus does finish. Where are those Zealot reinforcements? What are the storm doing for the friendly fire? Oh my god. The friendly fire from the storm. Not like this, but GG gets called. Yeah, he does too much damage anyway. He breaks on through, and Skillus, he breaks down the main army, pushes in, and Skillus will claim the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations, Skillus. He does do it again here. 2 days or 2 tournaments in a row. Skillus takes down Rogue. Very impressed here that Rogue did take a map. I'll be honest, I was leaning more towards Skillus 2-0ing, but Rogue did take a map, did make a series out of it. Here in game 2 and game 3, sorry, I should say, winding it back to game 1. Game 1 did end very abruptly, so it was just Skillus maybe being a little bit too cavalier early on. If you remember what happened in game 1, Skillus, he missed the early lings, he missed the move outs, and he just died. The game ended like 3 minutes in. Like game 1 was very short, very abrupt. Getting into game 2 and game 3, Skillus, he got into his game. He was able to get into his actual game. He was able to get into the mid game and embrace his storm, embrace his army, embrace his own economy, and it did pull Rogue apart. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god, to what's been happening, the rest of the bracket's been progressing the entire time, but we have updates here. We've got a lot of updates actually, so with that, congratulations, Skillus takes down Rogue 2-1. Skillus, he's up against MaxPax. As MaxPax, he takes down herO 2-1. Sorry, Geralt even. MaxPax, I'm sure he's very happy about that, by the way. MaxPax like, oh my, thank god. But Geralt takes down herO 2-1. Very impressive play there by Geralt. MaxPax takes down Geralt 2-0, and then we have MaxPax and Skillus in the semifinals. Scrolling down, Classic takes down Mana, Classic takes down Hearthstone, and Classic is waiting in the grand finals for the winner of MaxPax and Skillus. So we were hoping to avoid, or we were hoping to delay the mass amount of PvPs, and we did a little bit. We got to experience at least one ZVP, one non-mirror matchup, thankfully. But now we're locked in to our regular weekly setup here. The WardiTV Pro Toss Cup. Let's go. So it's going to be MaxPax versus Skillus into Classic. That is the go-to. That is the plan. That is the tournament ahead of us. Let's go. Let us go. So we are heading on over. Rogue saw that Skillus was storming his own army as a power move and had to surrender. True. It's terrifying. He's just heating up the pan. Hasn't added any ingredients yet. Let him cook. True. In the end, Storm Change just made it better against lurkers and tanks. I mean, it made it better against most things Zerg with its lurkers, tanks, Ling Bane, Hydra play. I mentioned earlier that it does allow for better zoning and easier to defend. I will say that Skillus, he did showcase that a little bit, but for the most part, he was able to be much more active and aggressive with his army. I would say that in the current patch, it is easier for the Protoss player to turtle up and get into Skytoss if they so chose to, but a shout out to Skillus because he didn't do that in any game. He did as Hearthstone's like, pick up the phone, Pappy, pick up the phone. I believe Hearthstone and Wardy are casting together. But yeah, I appreciate that Skillus, he was a little more active, he was a little more aggressive. Can't say that before you start calling and make you look bad. Oh no. Wardy's leaving Hearthstone on red, Pappy. Oh no. Smudge. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. But yeah, so winding it back up, I appreciate that Skillus, he was more aggressive than he needed to be. Again, if he really wanted to, he could have thrown down a fleet beacon, gone into Skytoss, and embraced, you know, Carrier into Tempest, into Storm. Opted not to. But here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of ley lines, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss himself representing Team Liquid. It is Skillous. Go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now... Oh, my apologies, actually. Sorry. I have to set up the players, actually. Semi-finals, MaxPax, Ice Storm Gaming. Okay, there we go. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as Skillous does begin with a proxy. Let's go. The pylon has been thrown down. MaxPax sees where the pylon is missing. Skillous, he did not probe scout across the map, and MaxPax is going for a standard 2-gate opener. Now, we'll see if he goes into a Robo, Twilight Council, or Stargate from here. How does MaxPax respond to the proxy? Cyber cores are done. Robo's on the way. One base all in out of Skillous. So he's going for the one base all in. Skillous just wanted to know why Terrans love shouting in storms. True, true. He liked it, man. He liked it. And we see MaxPax going for a Stargate. Okay, so coming into this, I do favor Skillous. Skillous, he's going for a one base all in. MaxPax going for a Stargate opener is designed to give him a lead coming into a longer macro game. Opening up Oracle, he does scout the proxy. With this, he can go for a Phoenix opener instead. Phoenixes can zone away the War Prism, and they can also lift the Immortal. So we'll see if he does go for the Phoenix first. Or if he does embrace Void Rays instead. War Prism's on the way. Skillous rallying in. He does rally. Oh, unfortunate move there. Does get intercepted. Thankfully, doesn't take too many hits. Skillous, we gotta calm down. We gotta calm down, baby. As MaxPax, he moves in, gets 2 more volleys, we're on a rally, and the Prism is going to go down. Massive pick up here, 1 more volley, Prism falls, that delays the push. And MaxPax did go Oracle into Void Ray. Now, it does cost MaxPax both Stalkers, true, so it did come at a cost. Did lose 2 Stalkers. Skillous pushing forward, there's only 1 left to defend. Going for the Shield Battery. Shield Battery under fire. Oracle into the main, Stalkers are ready. Skillous is in position. He will defend the main. Skillous is rallying. Again, this is a delayed all-in here by Skillous. Delayed War Prism. Getting up to 11 Stalkers. I say 11 up to 9 Stalkers as 2 of them are back at home. True. Now pushing in. Oh. Let's try to move in. And Prismatic Alignment is activated on 1 of the Void Rays, not on the other. MaxPax is holding on. Another Shield Battery on the way. Now, Skillous coming into this, he has to be so careful with his Stalkers. Ideally, you want to build up over time. Keep warping in 3 Stalkers at a time as well. And eventually overwhelm, eventually start 1-shotting or 2-shotting. Now, clutch control, clutch micro. Volleys off, takes down 1 of the Zealots. Oh, we'll lose 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker goes down. Nice pick up out of MaxPax. One's going to commit in. Trying to. Once again, there's a Prismatic Alignment. MaxPax does zone away. Oh. It's not the Zealot. The juggling so far is on point for the most part. Oh, the Stalkers are starting to go down. Stalkers are going down. They're so low. He has to go. Does one shot. Gets a Void Ray because he has to keep going. He has to keep pushing. There's 5 shield batteries. Another Void Ray has arrived. Takes control of the natural and kills the natural base. Okay. Does kill the natural. Oh. So hopefully the latency is okay as he's going further in, going for the kill. He's trying to. What, 3 Void Rays left. Oh, we lose the Warp Prism. Prism goes down. Skills, he has to back off. Down to 14 Stalkers. I mean, that's still enough to maintain control of the low ground. And from here, Skills, he could try to expand. But now they're just going for another Prism. Still committing. And Skills, he's all in. There's only one shield battery up on the ramp. Skills, he might have enough here. Up to 20 Stalkers. Again, he retained so many of them earlier. Breaks through the pylons, supply blocks MaxPax. Clutch force field. Oh. Void Ray's trying to engage, but Skills looks like he's done it. Yeah, here he has done it. Again, it is so difficult to defend against this with a Void Ray defense. This is why we mentioned earlier that when we saw the Stargate, it was a better start for Skillus. So MaxPax, he gambled. The gamba, man. Did gamble, and with that, the boys are being pulled. MaxPax getting desperate. The Void Rays, they're putting in a lot of work, though. True. They're putting in a lot of work. A lot of Stalkers going down. He should not have committed. Skillus getting punished. Uh-oh. Getting punished heavily here. Losing so many Stalkers, and that was not the fight to take. Skillus, he overextends. Does kill 12 pros, but he will lose most of his army. And again, he did not have to fight there. These Void Rays, they just did so much thanks to the boys, thanks to the probes. Skillus. You gotta respect the Void Rays. Respect the boys. True. As the Prism does bypass the main army. Yeah, MaxPax did miss it. Heads into the mineral line, and this is just buying time. It's just buying time. Skillus is warping in. He's warping in back at home. Despite Skillus having a really rough fight, he still has the economic lead. Oh, it doesn't recall. Yeah, it does not recall in time. Again, some big blunders there for Skillus. And has he lost his lead? He's up in workers, but he's also inefficient mining. So there's a lot of inefficient mining. Goes down, pylon goes down. We have 3 Void Rays and 2 Immortals. Yeah, Skills, he might just kill. He might just move in and kill. Sorry, Max, I meant to say, he might just move in and kill. And again, this should not have happened. Should not have happened. Skillus got too excited. Yeah, I mean, this was his game. This was Skillus' game, and he got too excited with that. He'll lose control of the ramp, lose control of the main. Max acting so careful with his movement. Should take down both gateways. Cannot push up the ramp because of the force field. You can see the sentry. Sentry's ready. of. There's a first force field. Gateway goes down. There's zero production. Wow, no gateway, no robo, no nothing. Skillsy cannot warp in. Ooh, stasis goes up. Catching up 4 stalkers. And now we just camp these stalkers. Yeah, from here, MaxPax can just camp. You can push in. Stalkers, they cannot get away. Losing 1, 2, 3. All 4 stalkers do go down. Oh, barely. We tried out. There's a bit of mispathing there. Mismovement, miscontrol. And once again, the boys are being pulled this time in favor of Skillus. Trying to chase us down. Stasis goes up. Getting on the first immortal. 1 immortal. That was 4. That was just 1 immortal. There's 3 left. And MaxPax has done these snowballs out of control. And this was Skillus's game to take. It was his game. He had it. And again, got so excited. Pushed too far into the main. GG gets called, and MaxPax takes game number 1. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Skillus playing this out very well. Again, MaxPax, he gambled going for a Stargate opener. He did not know what was going on. He did not have confirmation until after he threw down the Stargate. He attempted to defend. He failed to defend his natural, was being pushed further in, and instead he went for one last-ditch effort in his main base. He pulled the boys, and the boys did an amazing job at tanking shots. He did lose a lot of probes. I think it went down to like either 10 or 12 workers. Like, he went down to a very low worker count, but he maintained his army, which is what was important, so he can counterattack, take map control away from Skillus, and take it from there. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax does take the first game, and now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Here we go. 9? I thought it was even worse. Or, I mean, I say that, but again, the working count didn't really matter as much, as he took a very strong fight in the main base. The boys, they did their job. And we are getting into our next game. Okay, sorry, I was just double checking. I was just checking Indy's VOD. So Indy did cast herO versus Geralt, and I was really curious to see if herO did like off breaks or something, but no, it was straight up PvP. Oh, with proxy disruptor. Let's go, let's go. Este Geralt, crazy. But yes, we're just now getting into game number 2. Looks like our players, they need a moment. They do need a moment here. Well, I'm happy to give it to them. And we'll be getting into our next game. Just so Yakko in Discord. We might just go on a very short break here. Very short. Once we come back, we'll have MaxPax and Skillus getting into game 2. They just need a moment. They need a moment. Un momento. We'll see you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second game, of the series here of the semifinals of the WardiTV Monday number 54 Friday edition. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. For System Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is Skillus. Here we going against Skillus. He had a very strong showing last game. Like, again, with the proxy, with the coins that were tossed a little bit, with the gamma that was being had when it came to the openers and builds of choices, it all lined up for Skillus. It all lined up. Skillus, he did an amazing job breaking the natural base, breaking through the main army as well, crippling the production, pushing into the main, but he stuck around a little bit too long. He pushed too far into the main base. MaxPax, he pulled the boys, and Skillus did decide to stand and fight. He chose to stand and fight. Because of that, he got surrounded. The boys did a great job at tanking against all those stalkers, and the Void Rays, they activated their prismatic alignments. 3 Void Rays with prismatic alignments with a safety net of all these probes did break through, did shut down the 20 stalker count of Skillus, and MaxPax held. It was a very impressive defense out of MaxPax, and Skillus just misjudging the strength of the boys. The probes, they're terrifying. True, they're pretty good. And with that, Max actually pulled off a crazy comeback. And now we're getting into game number 2. And we'll see if Skillus can bring it back. We'll see if he can force the ace match or if it'll end here and now. As now, second pylon on the main base for MaxPax, second pylon on the main base for Skillus, so no proxy. No proxy, not this time. Both players opening up standard, a 2-gate opener out of both of our Protosses. Stalker Sentry out of Skillus, meanwhile Adept Stalker out of MaxPax. With this, MaxPax is going to be a little bit more aggressive, more assertive. He'll move out across the map, and we'll see how MaxPax has been adjusting in his PvP matchup. Again, there are 2 big changes in PvP. One is the NG overcharge, or NG recharge. Does mean that defenses against all-ins are weaker because the recharge is lessened to help support the shield battery. On top of that, the Stargate opener is weaker as well, as Stasis Traps, they last they don't last as long, and of course the energy overcharge doesn't or isn't as effective on the Oracle as well. So less stasis wards, less stasis traps. Despite that, MaxPax still going for the Stargate. Interesting. Still does go for the Stargate. And should still go for the Oracle Harass. Oh. Ooh, that skill's a little bit late. Yeah, late to wall up, late to wall up. Versus Epps doesn't get any damage though. Does go down. MaxPax does keep poking in. Oracle into the main. So far, skills is keeping up. He's in position, does zone back. So far, so good. Ooh, even dealing quite a bit of hull damage as well. And from here, Skillus takes the lead, right? Skillus, he does have a slightly better economy. He's up by 3 workers. The Oracle is designed to get damage done, and so far has not done so. Now the second Oracle towards the natural. MaxPax hoping to distract. The Oracle dives into the main. Oh, gets zoned away. And I hope that the connection's okay. I do notice a couple of frame drops. Oh. So MaxPax breaks in, gets 2 probes. Gets 2 workers, goes back in, gets another couple of probes as well, getting up to 5. 5 probes do go down. Up to 6, 7. And Skillus is being torn apart. Yeah, the Oracles, they just keep going back in. They find even more damage. Finally, one Oracle may just barely not go down, actually. Gets away. Barely gets away. 8 probe kills, and MaxPax takes the lead. He does take a lead behind this. Both players working towards Blink. A third base on the way for Skillus. MaxPax throws down an extra gateway instead. Ooh, okay. I believe that is a 4th gateway. The setup for a 2-base all-in. I say that 3rd base is on the way, so it is quite aggressive here from MaxPax, but he is expanding behind this. Does get another base, and we'll see what he can get done. So MaxPax does move out, pushing towards the 3rd. Can he force a cancel? Stay strapped into the main. Skillus catching out 3 probes. 3 workers get caught out. MaxPax still looking for a way in. So far, Skillus, he's holding on, still trying to catch up economically. Thankfully, does have a faster 3rd. That does help. So Skillus is catching back up. Spotted. MaxPax still moving in. Oh. Oh no! There we go. Nice bait. Baits out the stasis. From here, both armies do clash. Skillus does have the advantage of the sentries. Does force field, does try to zone. Better concave for Skillus as well, but the Stalkers are getting quite low. Yeah, for both sides. Stalkers are getting low. MaxPax, he does reinforce, gets a better concave, does push in, and he breaks through. Yeah, he breaks through the main army, takes out all the Stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Skillus fighting without shield battery support. No shield batteries. No Guardian shield. And MaxPax may have just done it. Yeah, he may have just done it here. He's pushing in. He's one-shotting. Nice blinks. Very nice blinks. Skills does pull away. The Immortal has arrived, and from here, MaxPax has to respect the Immortal. But that is still 5 probe kills. MaxPax, he pulls away. +1 is almost done. And MaxPax has momentum. You can see here he did outtrade Skillous in that head-on fight, killing 17 Stalkers for 12 of his own. He's killed 14 probes out the course of this game. Oh god, that's a lot of probe kills. And MaxPax, he's running away with this. The one advantage that Skillous has, even though he has a smaller army, he does have Immortals. That does help. If he can buffer, if he can support those Immortals, then he can take a fight even with a smaller army. But alas, look at that position. Shields are triggered. One Immortal does go down. Nice snipe. Ooh, Stasis goes off. Diving on another Immortal. Yeah, he wants him. Gets 2. Gets 2, now going for 3. Blinks once again, and all 3 Immortals go down. The Stalkers, they were out of position. They just now rally over. And these are better trades from MaxPax. Unfortunately, MaxPax, all his gases are delayed. Yeah, no extra gases here, so you can see he has 1,000 minerals in the bank. It's a lot of minerals. Another Stasis goes off. Esterati. Esterati. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Ooh, MaxPax going for DTs. Dark Shrine is on the way. The main armies are quite comparable. We can see Skills, he has a very hefty Zealot-based army. And MaxPax, he has no Archons. Oh. Yeah, no Archons. No splash damage. Never got a Temple Archives. Despite that, does pick up a couple of Zealots. Nice kiting here out of MaxPax. Can he engage? And MaxPax trying to push on through. Zealots are getting off the Stalkers. And Shield Battery coming into play. Cannon as well. And MaxPax, he's barely holding on. The Immortals are quite exposed though. Dives on the Immortals, he gets 1. One Immortal barely goes down. There's 1 more left. Does kite back. And Skills, he'll lose everything. He should lose everything here. The Zealot reinforcements are helping. The 1 Archon put in a lot of work. Dealt so much damage. But should still go down. Oh, never mind. Nice save. Nice save in the Archon, but doesn't save the game here. GG gets called. MaxPax, he shuts down the push, he defends, and MaxPax will take the series at 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. MaxPax does claim it. Again, it was very close, very clutch, especially game 1, right? Game 1 was Skills' game. I can very easily see this going to the ace match. But alas, MaxPax, he was able to bring it back in game 1, and likewise Skillous to get too excited. With that, MaxPax will claim it, and now we have our grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 finals here between MaxPax and Classic. Let's go. Just setting up. Beautiful. We're going to be going on a short break. Here. When we come back, we'll have a Classic and MaxPax. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, I do apologize for the delay here, as I say apologize for the delay. I apologize for some news that we have here. Unfortunately, MaxPax, he is unavailable to compete. For those who are unaware, there is another tournament that is happening at the moment, the Kung Fu Cup. There's a special event, the Kung Fu Cup monthly tournament, random battlefield. Basically, every month, Kung Fu Cup, they do have different formats. I want to say that last month it was StarCraft Evolution. This month it is just pure random, and it is clashing with this event. It is clashing with this tournament, so you can actually see it here. Let us quickly switch our scenes over, and catch up on the, or just show off the bracket itself. Bam. There we go. So it is a shame. It is a shame for sure. But as you can see here, this tournament, we have oh, can we zoom in a little bit? Not quite. Okay. But we have Clem. We have Clem versus Trigger. Clem took down Trigger 3-0. We have herO versus Cure. herO took down Cure 3-2. Ryung took down Byun, and Creator is playing against MaxPax. It's pure random, like pure random here. This is also why it looks like, you know, herO, Clem, they were unavailable. They were playing this tournament. Cure was playing this tournament, Ryung and Byun as well. So a lot of players, a lot of the Terran players that we expected to see in this weekly, they were otherwise preoccupied. They were playing in other tournaments, playing in this event, in the Kung Fu Cup. And it looks like, I mean, you can see a forfeit here. MaxPax, he's letting us know that he is going to be competing in the Kung Fu Cup event. But never mind. Looks like he said that they might have come to an agreement here that maybe MaxPax, he plays against Creator after this series. It looks like he might be able to play. Still a little bit up in the air, but we'll see. We'll see if MaxPax can compete or not. But basically, he's scheduled to play against Creator here. Is scheduled to play. So he's trying to figure that out. Too much, Pappy, too much. So much StarCraft going on. But it looks like MaxPax, it looks like he's saying that that he might still be able to compete. That they might reschedule his series versus Creator, so they might reschedule it so that he can play in both tournaments. If that's the case, it's a little bit of a shame that they're allowing MaxPax to reschedule, but maybe not necessarily giving or giving the option to like Byun and Ryung and the other Terrans. Like they could have maybe played in both as well, maybe rescheduled as well. So it's a bit of a shame that they weren't given that option. But yes, so we have confirmation that MaxPax and Classic will still go on. Okay, well, they will still go on, they'll still play, they'll still compete. Vitas are done, and we are getting into our first series. Okay. The show will go on. MaxPax and Superstar are constantly booked. I mean, that was the case for herO and Clem, and for Byun and for Cure, for the others as well. Which is, I'm sure, partially why they weren't in this bracket for this weekly. But here we go. We're getting to our first series, and game one is going to be on torches. Let's go. MaxPax was the only one to bribe enough. Cap. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our series. We're getting into our grand finals, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of torches, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from South Korea representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the... on who you think will claim the series. Will go the way of MaxPax, will go the way of Classic. In recent times, in recent months, we have seen that players like Classic and herO have had the better of MaxPax, but they do trade. They do trade back and forth. And coming into Torches, we do have a ramp coming into the natural, which means we're going for greedy economic openers. Let's go. We're going for Gate Expands. This often leads into Stargate follow-ups and often leads into Phoenix Wars. I say often, Classic is known for, if he does enter a Phoenix War, he is one to try to slip away from it and go into a Blink-based all-in instead. So that is going to be on the table. That is going to be an option if we head into Phoenix Wars. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The reason why we're expecting that is because of the high ground, because of the ramp at the natural. It does lead to low ground setups. It leads into often faster expansions. But the probes are here. So both players know that either one wants to expand. Classic, he has 400 minerals. Yeah, Classic, he has the money for a Nexus. We should see a pylon block, and Classic, he's forced to throw down his tech, Cybercore. Likewise, so is MaxPax. Again, these probe blocks, these pylon blocks should be, they should be delaying, but they do not. Yeah, MaxPax out of position, bit of a slip up there, and Classic gets away with the faster base. So a better economy here for Classic. MaxPax did make the initial Zealot. Classic, he's here to block, and MaxPax, he will fall behind, at least initially. There are ways to recover, of course. There are ways to be more aggressive. MaxPax, he throws down the pylon. He should throw down shield. Ooh, doesn't let it finish. Does not let it finish. Zealot gets cancelled. The probe is still here. Stargate opener out of MaxPax. Heavily delayed expansion. And there's that pylon. Yeah, there's that pylon block once again. Classic being so annoying, and Classic, he gets his own Stargate. This should be Phoenix Wars, right? It should be Phoenix versus Phoenix, and if that's the case, then MaxPax will just have a worse economy. Do it again! He's going for it! Oh my god. Probe is in position. There it is, another pylon block. Once again, he delays even further. MaxPax, he wants to expand. He just wants to expand, but he's got the money. He's had it for a long time. Probe goes down. Finally, MaxPax can throw down the Nexus. There's a cancel. And there's the base. He throws down the Nexus. Meanwhile, Classic is already done. It's already here. Classic, he already has the natural. Phoenix production's underway, and Classic has a massive advantage here. The pressure's on MaxPax. He's moving out. Classic, he has to be so careful here with the Phoenix. Shoots first. Wow, he shoots. That should not have happened. Classic does shoot first, and Classic will kill the... I mean, they kill each other. They kill each other. This is still better for Classic, I would say, to just trade evenly, despite having the better economy. He moves out. He wants the other Phoenix. He has to be careful, though. Defend his advantage. True. Uh oh. Classic, he should not be here. He should not be here. Okay, pulls away. Classic pulls away. Second Stargate for MaxPax. Where's the second Stargate for Classic? Now, if you remember, I said something at the very beginning of the game. I did speak about how if Classic enters Phoenix Wars, he is often one to try to switch out into Blink, into a ground-based all-in, out of Phoenix Wars instead. Personally, I would love to see a second Stargate instead and see him just commit and double down and take his lead and extend it. But Classic is not doing so. As a result, MaxPax, he will catch up. He will overtake. He will overtake in Phoenixes. And Classic, what's the plan? Oh, he's moving out. He's a very late second Stargate. He's going to try to camp the production. He should not engage. Yeah, Classic, he has to get the hell out of here. He cannot fight. If he does, he will lose. So Classic does have the better economy, but he didn't do anything with it. And now we see something being done, of course. Now going for the Fleet Beacon into faster Phoenix range. And Classic is setting up for a faster third, okay. Classic is stuck at home. So I'll say a fumbled early game here from Classic. Was fumbled. MaxPax moving in. Again, Classic cannot fight. He has less Phoenixes. Oh, and they're going to start engaging. They trade. Classic, he'll lose one. Yeah, Classic, he'll lose one. Brutal start. And again, this is on Classic. And MaxPax, he may just commit. He may just commit here. Yeah, Classic not stacked. MaxPax, he can just win the fight. He can just push in, and he will kill every single Phoenix. Again, too many mistakes out of Classic, and with that, he'll lose everything, and with that, that should be game. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he does take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Classic had a better early game, that is true, but then he did fumble the ball there. Very late second Stargate. He opted for a faster third base instead. So later second Stargate, later production. As a result, he did fall behind Phoenix wise. He also got caught unstacked. He lost one Phoenix earlier on after the first initial trade, and he fell behind. He stayed behind. GG. GG, well played with that. MaxPax, he is able to claim it, able to win it, able to get on top with those Phoenixes, and takes a lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. Now we're getting to game number 2, and we'll see how our players will adjust coming into Pylon. Now, as a reminder, a big reason as to how the game progressed is because of the ramp coming into the natural. This is a unique feature on Ultra Love, on Torches. Less so, I mean, it's a unique feature on some maps, but most maps do not have a ramp coming into the natural, so we should be seeing a different kind of opener. We should be seeing, and we could be seeing, a one-way all-in instead, out of Classic. Let's go. Let us go. So we're getting into game 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Pylon, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss leading the series 1-0 for System Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss himself from South Korea, representing Protoss Pro. It is a Classic. We go. Game 1 was brutal and definitely not good for morale, I should say, for Classic, but we'll see if we can recover. Again, remember, there's no ramp coming into the natural, so we should be going for 2 gate openers all around. 2 gate openers on the high ground, and we'll see if either player does proxy. Meanwhile, a big shout to oh my god, Quack. Thank you so much in the chat to Duckman Parky as well. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Do appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Gracias, papi, gracias. Duckman. Let's go, baby. Let's go. It's a very fitting name. Very fitting for the channel. I appreciate it. Welcome to the pond. As Classic does move out of this probe, and Classic is getting ready for a proxy pylon. Right, here we go. Proxy at the Zelnaga Tower. MaxPax, he's looking for the pylon, and this is a prime location for, this could be a Stargate or a Robo. Both are viable here in this location. What's it going to be? Waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is done. Show us what you got. Double Stalker opener out of Classic. And Proxy Robo, 1 base all in. Oh boy, here we go. Does go for the all-in. Meanwhile, oh, the hard counter, and MaxPax with the defensive Robo. Ay. So a nice read here from MaxPax. If you remember, we were criticizing MaxPax and his Stargate opener against Skillus in game 1, which should have gotten him killed. He did somehow recover, bounce back. I say somehow, Skillus did overextend. But now here against Classic, MaxPax, he takes no chances, does open up Robo himself. So very safe play out of MaxPax. He has the tools to defend. Has the tools. Comes down to the execution. As Max actually finds the pylon, he finds the proxy. MaxPax does confirm. Immortal production has begun. And MaxPax, he should run away with this. Just play it safe. Just play it safe, man. Play it safe. There we go, third gateway in the main. From here we can throw down shield batteries. MaxPax does not expand. Sending classic away. Dropping into the main. He rotates over. Rends the sentry. Oh. Again, no major damage. Classic. Oh, threatens to go back in. Takes a lot of hits. Nice, got his immortal. At the same time, a 2-for-1 trade for MaxPax, not ideal with those adepts. But actually going further in, a bold move. He goes across the map, he can always recall. He's going for the pylon. Yeah, he's going for the production. Pylon is going to be targeted. Classic tries to go in, he gets punished. Oh, I say that. No, never mind, he does break through. He does unload, does break through. Takes down the Stalker. Stalker goes down, now the defensive immortal. Oh, the Prism! No, the Prism! Oh my god, one shot away. Uno más, papi, uno más. So close. Classic defends, the Prism barely escapes. Classic is holding on. But he did lose his production. Everything was depowered. Oh. Nice force fields. Jesus. A nice pickup as well. One Stalker goes down. MaxPax does get away. Pulls back, he pulls out. MaxPax gets spotted. The army's moving in. Let's intercept. Nice force fields. They catch only one unit though. One adept. Zoning back the army. Oh. Playing fire, Prism barely gets away once again. One shot away from going down. That could have been game. That could have been game then and there. It was so close. MaxPax has opted to expand. The Immortals will go back into the main. They can always recall. They can. They probably will. Yes, both pylons. Kites back. There's a recall. Does recall back home just in time. Stalker's getting caught out. Shields are triggered. Here come the defensive immortals. And MaxPax is just all over this. He's all over this defense. Gets on top of the immortals, pushing on top of the Prism. Immortal goes down. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and MaxPax takes a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. MaxPax, he did open up with a hard counter. He went for a defensive robo himself. As we mentioned, he had the tools to defend. It just came down to the execution, and the execution was there. He shut down the initial Prism. He shut down he was even able to get across the map and shut down the production as well. Again, that defensive robo is what you want if you're being all in such a manner. And MaxPax, he read that well. He didn't even scout the initial proxy initially before he threw down the robo. He threw it down expecting a proxy, expecting an all-in out of Classic, and did read him well enough. And now we're getting to game 3, potentially the final game of the series. MaxPax, he's one game away from claiming the series and becoming our champion. We'll see if he can go all the way. Uno más, papi, uno más. As game 3 is going to be on Persephone. here we go. We're getting into potentially the final game of the series. This morning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming, leading the series 2-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. Bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss. We have the red Protoss for Virtus Pro. It is a classic. Here we go. So players are opening up. Take it. As once again, welcome to Persephone. There is no ramp coming into the natural, so we should be seeing 2 gate openers. And the question becomes, do we see Classic go for an all-in as he sets up on the high ground? Okay. He sits up next to his main, I should say. Gate on the high ground. Gate expand. A hyper greed out of Classic. Which means MaxPax. Oh, does he just read? Does he just proxy here and now blindly? No shot. Yeah, massive read here from MaxPax. Ay. This is one of the greediest builds you can go for. Gate expand. The only greedier build you can go for is just Nexus First, and that is a rare sight. We've seen Estrella do it a couple of times. Nexus First is crazy. I think hero's done it as well, but Gate expand is insanely greedy. And if MaxPax throws down a robo, he can just look to end the game. Classic is looking, he's scouting, he's checking the more typical proxy location. Checks the left. Checks for a Stargate location as well. And yep, there it is, the blind robo. Remember, MaxPax, he hasn't seen anything. He blindly goes to the robo, and this should be a hard counter. Borderline build order win, to be honest. As, yeah, MaxPax. I mean, this is one of the things about PvP. We spoke about it even in the Skillless MaxPax series, how there is kind of like a rock, paper, scissors when it comes to openers. We spoke about MaxPax having a hard time defending when he went for a Stargate opener against a proxy robo. We spoke about how MaxPax almost hard countered Classic with a robo opener himself against a proxy. And here, proxy robo versus gate expand, right? Like the stars are aligned, and this is maybe best case scenario for MaxPax. And we saw that almost every game. I say almost every game just because game 1 was Phoenix Wars, and that was, again, Classic just kind of dropping the ball himself. Stargate's on the way, extra gateways are on the way. MaxPax moving in. Yeah, 4 Stalkers taking 1-shot probes. Getting 1 through 3. 3 probes going down. Oh, a bit of miscontrol out of MaxPax. Okay. Does have some miscontrol. Bleeds out 1 Stalker. That should not have happened. And this is what Classic is hoping for. He needs MaxPax to make mistakes. Will he make another? As the Immortal has arrived, there's 3 shield batteries to defend. MaxPax moving in. Gets 1. Gets the sentry. He should be targeted. Oh, the shield battery though. Oh my god. Yeah, puts in a lot of work, and the Immortal does barely go down. Clutch shield battery. Very clutch, and Classic is holding. Classic, he's zoning away. He's trying to at least. Oh. MaxPax might bring his heart out. Nice control. Going for another warp in. Desperately going for the kill. It's a Stalker. Gets 1, gets 2. Nice control. The Immortal has arrived, and yeah, it's too much. It's too much anyway. Yes, Max actually lost 1 Immortal, but it does not matter. Still has plenty to work with, and he's going for the kill. He's going for it. Zinnig kites well against the probes. Nice target firing on the Stalkers. Prism is getting low, but I mean, there's still so much to work with. Phoenix goes down, Prism is safe. And Classic down to 4 Stalkers and a 4. Up. Down to 3. Down to 2. And GG gets called. MaxPax, he will claim the series 3-0 and become this week's, or this edition's, WardiTV Monday Friday edition champion. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations here to MaxPax. Again, the stars did align. They rolled the dice. MaxPax blindly went for a proxy robo 1 base all in, and Classic blindly went for a gate expand. So Classic did go for basically hard countered or blind countered. Blind countered there in the end, a build order win for MaxPax. This was something similar in game number 2 where MaxPax went blindly. I say blindly. He saw that a pylon was missing in game 2, so he assumed it was a proxy, went for a robo opener, which was ideal defensively against Classic. So in the end, MaxPax coming out on top when it came to the builds in game 2 and game 3. But in game 1, that is where Classic had the better start, if you remember. He had the stronger start, but Classic opted to be greedy, which means he did forego that second Stargate, and he was overwhelmed by Mass Phoenix in the Phoenix Wars. GG, well played with that. MaxPax does claim the series. I would say the game 1 was the most competitive game, I want to say, just because Classic actually had a lead at one point. In the others, it was just a really rough from the beginning, from the early game, from the build of choice for Classic. GG, well played. Congratulations here. MaxPax will claim it, and with that, MaxPax, he can now focus on Kung Fu Cup. I can focus on Kung Fu Cup. Aye. SMH my head back. Let's go. Oh. Just messaging. Okay, we're good. Oh, but yeah, with that, GG will play. With that, congratulations to MaxPax, and with that, hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time here. Again, a bit of a shorter broadcast, 2.5 hours. Very short, actually. Very short. A lot of PvPs. At least we were able to feature Rogue for a series against Skilla, so we got a little bit of Zerg. We didn't get to feature any of the Terran players, unfortunately. Percival went down early, and Nickrat went down relatively early as well. But overall, congratulations. Once again, if you're curious as to why there was a WardiTV Monday here tonight, why there were 2 this week, as you mentioned previously, Wardy, he is taking next Monday off. I believe he's going to be enjoying a long weekend, so it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So because there's no weekly tournament on Monday, that is why he did decide to reschedule to a Friday instead, to still have the same amount of tournaments, just on a different day. I'm sure this did impact signups. It did mean that there were less signups and less of some of the other Terran players to compete, but regardless, still a solid turnout. And again, congratulations to our top players. Congratulations. When it comes to the rest of our schedule here, bam, we do have it before you. Let's go. That was filthy, and here I was thinking Classic was favored. I mean, I would have said that Classic was favored as well. It just, as I was trying to emphasize before, it's one of the things when it comes to PvP is that sometimes there are just build order wins and build order losses, and MaxPax was able to maybe metagame or just mind game or just read Classic quite well when it came to just assuming what builds he would be going for on what map and on which game. But that is like a factor. That is something that factors in for sure. But looking at our schedule here, we just wrapped up with our Friday cast, the Friday evening cast of WardiTV Monday. And as you can see here, we are going to be live with the Starfest qualifiers as well. Actually, let me just double check that. Right, I forgot. True. We have the, sorry, I keep saying Starfest. We have Stellarfest, the European qualifier. That's going to be in a couple of hours time, and we have the global qualifier tomorrow as well. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit tentative about covering the European qualifier. We were not available for the American qualifier or for the Korean qualifier. I do apologize. They were this morning and yesterday morning. We just weren't available for them. For this qualifier cast for the European one, technically I could try to stay up for it, but at the same time, I have to look after my bunnies as well. So I'm a little bit tentative on this one. A little bit tentative. We'll see. We'll see. We should be there for at least the global qualifier. Like the global qualifier, we should be there for. That is going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. KST. That's going to be in under 24 hours. We should be there for the global qualifier at least. We also have the Tuna Cup over on Sunday as well. Sunday evening, there's also the SC2 Safe House qualifier. Tentatively, we might be covering that as well. Still on the fence about the SC2 Safe House qualifier and, of course, the European Starfest or Cellarfest qualifier as well. So on the fence. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Another quick announcement, of course, is the Turtle Tussle. Turtle Tussle is going to be coming back next week, so look forward to that. Another regular bi-weekly tournament will be returning now that we're in the off season, so look forward to that, to feature more of the fresher TLMC maps as well. I'm still a little bit disappointed that the WardiTV Mondays aren't featuring any of the new maps. Same with Pegasus Cup this week, and I'm hoping that changes moving forward. You know, give us some of the fresh maps, make sure we get to experience them before voting closes for TLMC. We're doing our part, hoping the other tournament organizers do their part as well. I'm hoping for it. Here we go. But otherwise, no, I didn't get to say. I feel so bad. I remember there was the notification towards the end of the game. I do apologize, but shout out to Sword over the chat. God, I mean, God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Do appreciate it. Sorry, I was so engrossed in the game itself. It just kind of passed me by. The raid happened during the final game, so I do apologize. But thank you so much, Sword. Thank you. It's a shout out. Shout out to Sword. Much love, honey. Much love. I know that Sort of has been spending a lot of time competing in and streaming Age of Empires, but I want to say that recently he may have dipped his toes back into StarCraft with the new patch. So I hope Sort of is doing well. Hope you're doing well. But much love, much love. Otherwise, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. Going to be wrapping up here for the time being. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, there is going to be the Stellarfest qualifier that's going to be at 2 a.m. KST, 3 a.m. my time. That's going to be in around 4 hours time. So you can check that out. I'm a little bit tentative whether or not I will cover that. It's been a very draining day today, so I might just pass the hell out. But we'll see. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll see you guys at least tomorrow for the global qualifier. See you then. See you then. Bye. See you then.